They said it couldn't be done. The village was cut off, a river dividing them from the world. For years they tried to build a bridge, but every attempt ended in failure. They said the problem was impossible, until one child showed them another way. Imagine living in a place where your biggest obstacle is right in front of you every single day. For this village, it was a wide, rushing river. They needed a bridge to connect to markets, schools, and hospitals. Grand plans were drawn up by engineers, huge budgets were allocated, and everyone held their breath. But the river was too powerful, the ground too soft. Each new design failed. The money dried up, arguments broke out, and hope began to fade. The adults, frustrated and tired, were ready to give up. The impossible problem, it seemed, would remain impossible. While the elders debated and despaired, a young girl had been watching quietly. She saw the big, expensive plans fail. She saw the arguments and the hopelessness. Then, one afternoon, she picked up a single, flat stone from the riverbank. She walked to the water's edge and carefully placed it down. Turning to the bewildered adults, she said, "Why not use stones and time?" At first, they laughed. It was a childish idea, far too simple for such a complex problem. How could a few stones do what heavy machinery couldn't? But the girl didn't argue. She just went back to the river and placed another stone next to the first, and another, and another. Her work was slow. It wasn't flashy or impressive. Each day, she would add just a few more stones, finding the perfect ones that fit together like puzzle pieces. At first, no one paid her much attention. But after a week, a small, sturdy path started to emerge from the riverbank. Her persistence was quiet but undeniable. One of the village elders, seeing her dedication, walked over and placed a stone beside hers. Then another villager joined, then a family. Soon the entire community was working together, not with grand plans, but with careful, steady patience. They learned the rhythm of the river, the strength of the stones. It became a shared project, a daily ritual that brought them closer. Months passed. The pile of stones grew, forming a solid, reliable pathway across the water. It wasn't a modern marvel of engineering. It wasn't perfectly straight or smooth, but it was strong, built by hand, stone by stone, with the combined effort of every person in the village. One day, they placed the final stone. They had a bridge. It was a testament not to force or money, but to patience and a different way of thinking. The villagers crossed it for the first time, not with a sense of triumph, but with quiet, shared pride. They looked back at what they had built together, a bridge that was imperfect, but lasting. This story shows us something powerful. Creativity and patience can solve what brute force and money cannot. The biggest challenges aren't always overcome with the biggest solutions. Sometimes, the most profound changes come from a simple idea, consistently applied over time. It reminds us that when we face an impossible problem, maybe we just need to look at it from a new perspective. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more tales of inspiration.